Hello everyone. In our previous session, we had covered the goals of psychological inquiry, which includes the description, prediction, explanation, and control of behavior and application of knowledge. And today, in case you have missed the previous session, please click on the link given above. And today we're going to discuss the steps in conducting scientific research. Let us begin. Now we understand that science is not so defined by what it investigates as by how it investigates. The scientific method attempts to study a particular event or a phenomena in an objective, systematic, and testable manner. The objectivity refers to the fact that if two or more persons independently study a particular event, both of them, to a great extent, should arrive at the same conclusion. For instance, if you and your friend measures the length of a table using the same measuring device, it is likely that both of you would arrive at the same conclusion about its length. The second characteristic of systematic research is that it follows systematic procedure or steps of investigation. It includes the following steps: conceptualization of a problem, collection of data, drawing conclusion, and revising research conclusion and theory. Now let us discuss the steps in detail. Concept of a problem. Now, the process of scientific research begins when a researcher selects a theme or a topic of study. Then, he or she narrows down the focus and develops specific research questions or problem for the study. Now, this is done on the basis of review of past research, observations, and personal experiences. For example, earlier we have read that how researcher was interested in observing the study habits of students. Now, for this purpose, he or may she identify different facts of study habit first and then decide whether they should be interested in study habits shown in the class or at home. In psychology, we study a diverse range of problems related to the behavior and experiences. These problems may be related to either understanding of our own behavior, for example, how do I feel and how do I behave when I'm in a state of joy or grief? How do we reflect on our own experiences and behaviors? Why do we forget? Or understanding others' individual behavior. For example, is Abhinav more intelligent than Ankur? Why is someone always not able to complete her or his homework in time? Can the habit of smoking be controlled? Why do some people suffering from chronic illness not take medicines? C. Group influences on individual behavior. For example, why does Rahim spend more time meeting with people than doing his work? Why does a cyclist perform better when cycling before a group of persons than when cycling alone? Or group behavior. For example, why does risk-taking behavior increase when people are in group? And organizational level, for example, why some organization more successful than others? How can an employee increase the motivation of employees? Now the list is long and we will learn about this in coming lectures. After identification of the problem, the researcher proceeds by developing a tentative answer of the problem, which is called hypothesis. For example, based on our earlier evidence or our observation, we might develop a hypothesis. Greater is the amount of time spent by children in viewing violence on television, higher is the degree of aggression displayed by them. Now, in our research, we shall now try to prove whether the statement is true or false. Second comes the collection of data, data collection. This is the second step in scientific research, that is about collecting data. Data collection requires developing a research design or blueprint of the entire study. It requires taking decision about the following four aspects. First, participants in the study. Second, the method of data collection. Third, tools to be used in research. And fourth, procedure for data collection. Depending upon the nature of the study, the researcher has to decide who would be participating in the study. The participant could be children, adolescents, college students, teachers, managers, clinical patients, industrial workers, or any group of individuals where the phenomena under investigation is prevalent. The second decision is related to the use of methods of data collection such as observation method, experimental method, correlation method, case study, etc. The researcher needs to decide about appropriate tool, for example, interview schedule, observation schedule, questionnaire, etc. for data collection. The researcher also decides about how the tools need to be administered to collect data, that is, whether it's individual or group. Now, this is followed by actual data collection. Now, third comes the drawing conclusion. Next step is to analyze data so collected through the use of statistical procedure to understand what the data mean. Now, this can be achieved through graphical representation such as preparation of pie chart, bar diagram, cumulative frequency, etc. And by the use of different statistical methods, the purpose of analysis is to verify a hypothesis and draw conclusion accordingly. Revising research conclusion. Now, the researchers may have begun the study with the hypothesis that there exists a relationship between viewing violence on television and aggression amongst children. He or she has to see whether the conclusion supports this hypothesis. If they do, the existing hypothesis theory is confirmed. If not, she or he needs to revise or state an alternative hypothesis or theory and again test it based on new data and draw conclusion which may be verified by further researchers. Thus, research is a continuous process. Alternative paradigm of research. Psychology suggests that human behavior can and should be studied following the methods adopted by sciences like physics, chemistry, and biology. The key assumption of this view is that human behavior is predictable, caused by internal and external forces, and can be observed, measured, and controlled. Now, in order to achieve these goals, the discipline of psychology for a large part of the 20th century restricted itself to the study of overt behavior. When we say overt behavior, that means the behavior that could be observed and measured. It did not focus on personal feelings, experiences, meanings, etc. In recent years, a different method known as interpretive has emerged. It emphasizes understanding over explanation and prediction. It takes a stand that in view of complex and variable nature of human behavior and experiences, its method of investigation should be different from the method of investigation of the physical world. Now, this viewpoint emphasizes the importance of how human beings give meaning to events and actions and interpret them as they occur in a particular context. Let us take the experiences that may occur in some unique contexts, such as personal experiences or suffering due to external factors like people affected by tsunami, earthquake, cyclone, or internal factors, for instance, prolonged illness like CKD. In such type of situations, objective measurement is neither possible nor desirable. Everyone interprets reality in his or her own way, based on past experiences and contexts. Therefore, we need to understand the subjective interpretation of the reality. The goal here is to explore the different aspects of human experiences and behavior without attempting to disturb its natural flow. For example, an explorer does not know what he or she is looking for, how to look for, and what to expect. Rather, they try to map an uncharted wilderness with little or no prior knowledge of the area, and then their main task is to record detailed description of what is found in particular context. Now, both scientific and interpretive traditions are concerned with studying behavior and experiences of others. What about our own personal experiences and behavior? As a student of psychology, we often ask ourselves this question: why am I feeling sad? Many times we take a pledge that we will control our diet and devote more time to studies. But when it actually comes to eating or studying, we often tend to forget this. We might be wondering why one does not have control over one's behavior. Should psychology not help you in analyzing your own experiences, thought process, and behavior? It certainly should. The psychological inquiry does aim at understanding the self by reflecting on one's own experiences and insight. Thank you for watching. That's it for this session. Please do like and subscribe our channel. We wish you happy learning. Let us explore this amazing field of psychology together. Thank you. We will be waiting for your comments. Please do like and subscribe our channel.